And welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. So yes, just gonna let you know the audio quality should be improving soon. I've ordered a new mic. Yeah. So what am I talking about today? Well, I went on the internet yesterday, as I regularly do every day because I don't have a life. And yeah, I saw something that was slightly worrying. So this is an open video, I guess, to the Star Wars fandom. Alright, so what am I talking about? This shit. Okay. I know that, like, fuck it. 5,000 people is what they wanted, and luckily so far they haven't even got that. But their argument is that they want George Lucas to come back as he was the dad of the Star Wars franchise, I guess. They don't feel it's in good hands with Colin Trevorrow, who did an amazing job with Jurassic World. Yeah, the thing about that is if a baby is taken away from its parents because its parent is terrible at its job of raising that child, you don't go there and say, you know, it's the kid's 17 now. It's going to be 18 soon. We might as well just hand it back for one last year. It deserves to be with his dad for like, yeah. It'd be a good transition into adulthood to put it back with an abusive father. It's like, why? There's no. So what you think? It's just like this guy's whinging about George Lucas for nothing. So the problem with George Lucas is that he's not a good filmmaker. Like, you can. We'll just go talk for his points, okay? I've tried to find it. I can't. I swear there is an interview directly where he says that he doesn't like directing purely because he doesn't like telling his actors what to do, which is probably why you've noticed that in all of the films he's directed, the performance from his actors are the weakest. If you look, even A New Hope, if you go back and rewatch that now, and I recommend you do so, you'll notice that he gets the least out of his actors in comparison to the other two in the original trilogy. And you're like, well, surely he did the original trilogy. No. He was only director for Star Wars A New Hope. Now, if you look what he did before then, it was his experimental film that Francis Ford Coppola trusted him to make, and it pretty much sank the first version of American Zoetrope, which was, you know, Coppola's idea for this studio that was based around independent filmmaking. He came out of American Graffiti, and there's really not much to say about that. It's a great film. Yeah, and he made Star Wars A New Hope, which, I don't know, I think arguably is the worst of the original trilogy. Empire Strikes Back is always the best, like, if you try and disagree with that. But if you notice, yeah, he definitely doesn't like directing. Because look, in between 77 and 1999, it's 22 years he goes without directing a film, and it's only so he can come back and make more money off of the Star Wars. You might have noticed as well is, I'd say he's a much better writer, because if you look at what he's done in Thing, technically he gave the story outlines for most of these. It's not like he went down, set out the script and did the thing. We got, like, yeah, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh my god, this one. Yeah, it's basically. Alright, fuck it. I'll come clean. He's basically just done Star Wars and Indiana Jones. It's fine. Indiana Jones, that was a trilogy, which also got fucked by them coming back to it. Just saying. Yeah. So you're saying just like, hey Tom, why are you saying that he's not a good director? It's like, well, apart from that, let's actually go take a look at a quote by Mark Hamill. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about this quote by Mark Hamill, and here he quite clearly says, I would talk to George Lucas and say about, say, Luke and what he's feeling. Should I be jealous that this guy is hitting on the princess? And George would say, that's interesting. We'll talk about that later. Which, of course, we never would. He's not good at getting the performances out. Why do you think we had such, like, sure, like, Hayden Christensen's not a great actor. That's quite clear from his evident lack of work from later on. But at the same time, you wonder, maybe you could have gotten a bit more out of him than, like, if you're allowed to. George Lucas also is not a guy that should ever be allowed to run free with shit. Like, the original Star Wars trilogy, right? The first two films, he worked quite closely with... Oh my god, I'm going to sound like an idiot for not even searching this. One moment. Just pretend that I know what I'm talking about here, because I clearly do. Yeah, Gary Kurtz. Gary Kurtz is who I'm going on about. Now, Gary Kurtz had huge input on the first two. He was as much a dad to the Star Wars as George Lucas. Strangely enough, he disappeared and they had an argument sometime around the Return of the Jedi. And I'm not saying, but like the original story for Return of the Jedi would have seen Han Solo die and Luke flirt a bit closer with the dark side. Instead, what we got was teddy bears, murder bears, little fluffy. And yeah, really happy, like, we won! Each up, no, la 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 la, yep, yep. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And you see that sort of manifested itself a lot later when George Lucas went to do the original trilogy. Oh, not the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy. And we saw shit like Jar Jar Binks. It's like, it's him, like, he cannot be trusted at the end of the day. Don't trust George Lucas. So, yeah, let's go back to my point in that he's a terrible dad. We'll look at some of his contemporaries to see what they've done since the thing. So first of all is Francis Ford Coppola, the guy that gave him pretty much one of his first breaks in the industry. And, you know, we had him with coming out with... Well, this whole list talks for itself. You see, producer credit on American Graffiti. Godfather Part 2. This is a guy that's won multiple fucking awards. Apocalypse Now, Rumblefish. Begrudgingly Godfather Part 3. Again, he kind of fell off towards a certain point. Let's talk about another one of his friends. This is a fucking Steven Spielberg, who you're all familiar with. You noticed Steven Spielberg has been getting excellent, like, performances out of actors. He's been putting out excellent films since he fucking started, really. He occasionally makes a shit film. But, we're all human. And let's just go back to George Lucas once again. See, okay, now in the same year that we released Star Wars, this is Episode 7, The Force Awakens, did you know that George Lucas had another film? Alright, well apparently that's not going to work, because every time I keep switching back it stops looking at the screen. In fact, I'm pretty sure I wasn't looking at my preview, so it might not have shown you the Francis Ford Coppola, so you just have to trust me, okay? Yeah, a film came out that he did the story for, which is, it's called Strange Magic, and it's an animated film. You know, it's described as from the mind of George Lucas, and it was produced by Lucasfilm, done by Lucasfilm Animation Singapore and Industrial Light and Magic. And it made $13.6 million worldwide. And apart from that, the reviews are absolutely shit. Just saying, just don't trust this guy. Right, yeah, finally. He doesn't have the skin to do a thing at the end of the day. You need a thick skin. Also, let's just talk back to the fact we've seen his work. He did 3 films, essentially, took a 22-year break, came back to do the prequels, And if these films look like they're produced by an amateur, it's because at that point they fucking essentially are. Like, this is a guy who's, yeah, made 23-year films, directed 23-year films, took a break. I feel like I'm waffling on. So let's just end this with the fact that George Lucas stated that his favourite character in the Star Wars franchise is Jar Jar Binks, which I think is pretty accurate. He is essentially the fucking Jar Jar Binks of New Hollywood. While everyone else, you've got like, in this metaphor, Francis Ford Coppola is Qui-Gon Jinn, right? Yeah, he's out there, he's like, shoo, cutting through, then he falls early, and then you've got like Steven Spielberg as Obi-Wan, who's just always fucking been there. At one point he's going to get strike down and everyone's just going to be like, go back, and I don't know where this is going anymore. And then you've got like, fuck, it could be Yoda, I don't know. Anyway, he is the Jar Jar fucking Binks, the bumbling fucking buffoon that tries to appeal to kids. That's him. So don't trust him. Don't sign the petition. Just know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.